All right, so I hit record. And so the reason why, hey, Miss Brown, the reason why I hit record is because I'll record all the sessions. And then what I'll do is within 24 hours after each recording, I will actually put it inside of the Facebook group, okay? So that everyone, I'm gonna show you exactly where it is too. Hold on. Okay, so inside of the Facebook group, I sent out an email and I actually added everybody to the Facebook group. And then some people added themselves again, so you might be in there twice, but I'll go back in and clean it up. But this is the actual Facebook group. And so up under the pinned post is where you'll see the replay link. What is going on with this mouse? You'll see the replay link. And then I will always, inside of comments, I will post the replays. So you have to click on comments in order to see the replays. So they'll always be there within 24 hours. Sometimes it's sooner. The reason why it's 24 hours is sometimes international struggle net happens, okay, to be honest. All right. The other thing is right here up under files is where I will keep any files inside for the class. So I'll add files inside of the classroom. You will not get emails. The events is where you actually see the week logins. They will be here. They will not be in the email. All right. So everything is inside of this group. So let me tell you the reason. Some people say, well, I want an email. Well, what happens is people will say, I've lost the email. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Keon. I lost Claudia. I can't see everybody else. I've lost the email. I didn't get the email. Or also the other thing is I've had, which it's probably still going to happen. People will share the replay. Someone in the past sold my replay. Somebody sent me, they sent me a replay and they said, is this you? And I said, yes, it is. And somebody had sold the replay. So you all you paid for class, and I appreciate you. I totally do. But some others decide that they didn't want to. So I try to contain it as much as I can. And so the replays will be here until November 30th, okay? And the reason for that also is for accountability for you all. So for those of you all who don't know me, I'm a data person. I analyze everything. So all of my past classes, I've actually looked at the data and said, it seems like when I leave the replays too long, people are like, oh, I'll come back to it. Oh, I'll do it later. And then you never build your story or you never move forward with what you're trying to do. So I'm going to hold you accountable and make sure it's like, oh, I have this deadline. Does that make sense? To be able to get this stuff done. So the same thing is like this first week tonight is like the heart of drop shipping that we're going to talk about, okay? And it's about your niche. So that's why, again, with data, what I noticed was that people in the classes, hold on, the people that were actually inside of the classes were not doing their niche. They were like, okay, I'll think about it. And then I will go to the next week and they still haven't done it. Then I go to the next week and they still haven't done it. And then what happens is you never build your store. Whatever it is you're trying to do, it never gets done. And so now this time I am teaching you all about finding your niche, making sure you have your niche. There will be not really a gap. It's not really a gap, but we won't have a live class next Thursday. But I'm expecting you to have your niche. I'll be inside the Facebook group doing some things, but please have your niche by that next week or it's not going to work. I'm just being totally honest with you. Every single person that I talked to was either they were taking too long to find their niche. They had about 15 different niches. Only thing, I just need you to have one or two. So like for instance, if you decide that if you want to sell hair, you'll have a hair store, whatever it is, but make sure you niche it down to the point of to say, this is the store I'm going to start with first. Doesn't mean you have to stick to it. I have a lot of drop shipping stores. I have which I'll talk to y'all about. It's not just about Shopify. It's not just about having that one Shopify store. You can have multiple drop shipping stores as long as you know how to run and manage them, okay? Or have somebody, and I'll talk to you about that. But having a niche, honestly, is really important. And some people say you don't have to have a niche in drop shipping. I disagree with that. I think because what'll happen is you'll just start randomly selling stuff and either you're going to get bored with it or somebody else is already selling it and it's not going to make sense. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight is finding your niche. All right, is everybody ready? Y'all ready? Okay. And so the other reason is because I don't want y'all to, I kind of skipped it because this is kind of a long, well, I don't know. It might be a long session. And so if you
sorry, we just want to, however you want it, he can at least provide a little insight.
Hold on. So can y'all mute your phone? I got it. So if you have to go, like I said, the replay will be actually in the Facebook group. Okay, so don't feel like you're going to miss something. All right. All right. Let's see. Trying to do this so I can still. Okay, so this is the thing about Zoom. Some of you all I will not be able to see. All right, and so what I decided to do is, as long as you can see my screen, I will answer questions after. Okay, unless you have a dying question. All right, so we talked about the Q&A. Well, no, we didn't. The Q&A will actually happen after I finish facilitating the class. But if you have a question and you just confused, please stop me. All right. We already talked about the Zoom links. Please make sure you mute your phones when you come into the room. As you can tell, there'll be background noise that you don't want people to hear. I talked about the documents being inside the Facebook group where the replays were. I showed you reoccurring payment. You all are good. All right. So taking notes. I encourage you to take notes. I encourage you to have a notebook. I encourage you to watch the replays. I am a coach by nature. That's what I do. Not just drop shipping. I coach. Okay. So you will get coaching. So the reason why I say watch replays, because I'll even go back and see who watched replays. You can tell who watched replays or not. All right. And honestly, the more knowledge you get, even afterwards, it's almost like when you start a new business, even though you're in this class, you should still always be researching. There's something always new at drop shipping, y'all. It's every day I'm learning something new about drop shipping. There's actually here in Dubai, there's 3 e-commerce meetup groups that are here that I actually just joined. So then I can also go and learn. So I don't know if I'm sure it's some in the States. So you might want to go on meetup.com and see if there's some meetup groups in your local area if you are serious about drop shipping and e-commerce. I have a client who I'll just say she was making 6 figures a year in her business, in her corporate business, and started doing very well in drop shipping and has left her corporate company, is making more money than she has ever made in her life, but it's because she put in the work. Drop shipping is not something that I want to do full time. Some people do. Some people end up really honestly liking drop shipping. It's for me, I get bored easily with things. And so that's pretty much how I got into it, is just really venturing out, wanting to do something else. But also then I started getting into import export. I owned a trucking company at one time. And so I was a broker. So kind of like all of that tied into this whole thing. All right. So that's just me and getting bored. Those of you know me know I believe in multiple streams of income. So within this class, just because I'm talking about drop shipping, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna tell you about some other way to make money in here. Okay. That's just what I do. All right. This is the basics. I'm not going to go into the basics of business because that's kind of legal, but I will say the basics that you just need to at least do drop shipping, which is, the EIN from the IRS to start a business. You do need to request a sales tax ID. Of course, you want to open a banking account. You can set up, some people do I suggest do PayPal or Stripe. And also QuickBooks for small business is just another suggestion for me. When I started business years ago, I started doing business and just doing business. Okay, that's no lie. Didn't think about QuickBooks, nothing else. Then when it was time to pay taxes, here I am trying to scramble all these receipts and missing out on money. But QuickBooks actually has a program, I think don't quote me y'all, but it's under $10 a month. It might not even be $5 a month. And it actually links directly to your PayPal and will actually import everything for you. So that's easy. And then all you have to do is print it off at the end of the year. So it doesn't have to be just for drop shipping. It could be for any of your businesses. Okay. All right. This is just some places that you can actually go if you need help with any type of business information. I love the Small Business Administration. It's free online, SBA.com. Like, you can put in anything in there and it's going to come up about business, and it's free. I don't care if it's a template, whatever it is, it's going to come up there. You can even ask them questions. Some people like and don't like LegalZoom. I've had a couple of clients that used it for trademark. And I mean, they did fine. Their business is doing fine. You might find some attorneys that say don't like it, but usually it's attorneys that are doing trademark. Okay, so I don't know if that's the reason or why, but the ones that I know have done pretty well with using LegalZoom. Also, if you decide, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all how to do a Shopify, to do the Shopify. The reason why is because the rest of them they're not difficult, but they're just a little time consuming. Okay. So Shopify is the easiest, well, one of the easiest. I'm going to show you that one and another one. But that's the main one that I'll show you. It's easier than like BigCommerce. There's a couple other ones, but once you learn how to do one, pretty much you can learn how to do the other ones. Okay. But Shopify is the most popular. So I decided, instead of doing just doing a whole drop shipping class and then a separate Shopify, because I used to do that, is to give you all the Shopify inside of this class. Now, some of you all might say, I don't want to do Shopify. That's fine. You can still take the same techniques, whatever I'm giving you, and use them on any drop shipping platform you want to. Okay. But I want you to leave here with some type of store at the end of the 6 weeks. Okay. Now, you do Amazon, will require you to have a policy if you're doing over $10,000 a month. And you could on Amazon do over $10,000 a month. So the Amazon is a totally different beast. I have a separate class that I used to put that in certain classes. Amazon needs to be by itself. So I do it totally separate. It's just a different beast. Okay. What was happening was when I was teaching them Amazon and drop shipping together, they got overwhelmed and then they didn't do anything. And I didn't want that to happen to anybody else. So I said, I'll never do that ever again. I think I had probably out of 20 people end up maybe 9 actually finished a store, because Amazon is just a totally different beast. It's very intimidating. Okay? What can be if you do it right. So let's talk about drop shipping. So a lot of people say, well, what is drop shipping? Drop shipping is a fulfillment model that allows you to buy products individually from a wholesaler and ship directly to your customer. I'm a visual person, so half the time I'll probably be showing y'all something just for visuals. Okay, so let's say, for instance, this lotion. Okay. Now, let's say that Sean is a supplier. She's waving. Sean has this lotion at her location where she is. Okay. I am the customer. All right. I'm going to go on Sean's website and I'm looking and I say, oh, I like that lotion. And so I buy the lotion. The website is actually owned by Nicole. So Nicole owns the website. I'm the customer. Sean's the supplier. I'm going to go on here. I'm going to buy this lotion. Well, guess who's going to ship it? Sean. Nicole owns the website, but she does not have to ship it. She does not have to touch it. That is drop shipping. You do not have to touch the product. You do not have to house the product. Now, if you decide that you want to if you want to buy, 500 of these, right? And Nicole, who owns the website, and says, listen, I'm going to buy 500 of these. I'm going to have these at my house. I'm going to package them. I'm going to ship them out. Or I'm going to use a Amazon fulfillment center. Then she would now become a reseller, okay? Like a retail store. She is no longer a drop shipper, all right? So drop shipping, you do not touch the product and you don't have to actually ship it. It's just, you don't have any of it. So that's the beauty of drop shipping. Now, that means that you don't have to keep the inventory. Some of you in here will actually want to that's why I'm going to teach you both, because it's the same thing. It's either you're going to buy from a wholesaler, or it's either that you are actually going to, and actually in the chat, if you're in here now, if you're thinking about, and you might say I want to do drop shipping, but later you say, you know what, I actually want to do retail. I'm looking for wholesale suppliers and vendors. Can you put a yes in the chat if you're looking for wholesale manufacturers and suppliers, okay? It could be for, I don't know, some people might be doing hair, some people might be doing t-shirts, whatever it is. Put it in the chat. I just want to see how many we have people who are thinking about actually doing a retail store instead of a drop ship, because that happens a lot in the class. And I just want to know, because what I'll do is I'll make sure I supply you with a list of suppliers, okay? So you don't have to look. All right, so instead of purchasing a lot, like I said, a lot amount of inventory, you actually do not have to. And so here's a picture, it's the same thing. Here's a customer, they placed the order, right? All right, it pays you, it goes to the seller, and at the end you have the drop shipper and they ship the item. So you're just getting paid, basically. You're getting paid, but it looks just like it's coming from you. Now, I don't know if you all know also that if you order from Amazon, Amazon even drop ships with Walmart. So don't be surprised if all of a sudden you order something from Amazon, it gets to your door and it says it's from Walmart. They do it all the time. All right. So Amazon is usually a fulfillment hub for a lot of companies. And what I mean by fulfillment, which I will talk about the next time, is that if I have all these lotions and I'm just like, listen, I really don't want to do drop shipping, but I also don't have time to really ship this from my house. I would take all of the lotions that I bought wholesale. I can send them to Amazon to be a fulfillment center for me. You have to label them and price them, but they actually have them on their shelves for you and they ship it out for you. They become the person who ships out and deals with your customer for you. Now, with that being said, you hear how you have a middleman? That's when so if you're doing retail and if you can ship out your own stuff, ship it out. If you can't, if you feel like customer service is going to be messed up if you do it, then use a fulfillment center by all means, please. All right, don't do most of the time I'm telling y'all something that I did wrong, which is I tried to ship out when I was in the States. What did I have? I think I had t-shirts or something. And I was trying to ship them out, but I was also working overseas, going back and forth overseas. Customer service was a hot mess, all right? So that's why I actually found out about the fulfillment center, and I sent all my t-shirts that I had designed to the fulfillment center. And it doesn't have to be Amazon, there's plenty of them, and they shipped them out for me. Now, I did lose money, but at the same time, I was still making money and I had good customer service, okay? So there's 4 main goals of drop shipping, which is the one we're going to talk about, which is the finding your niche, making sure you have a good supplier, making sales, and also staying in business. Now, finding a supplier is what we'll talk about later. Is a couple of ways you can actually do that, and we'll go through that. So I pretty much talked about the wholesaler, where the wholesaler is anyone who buys directly from a manufacturer. So in other words, sometimes what I do, and especially here in Dubai, they have a lot of places where you could buy wholesale. So if I know that I'm actually coming home, usually what I'll do is, I don't have anything up here. I'll buy a bulk of things. It could be, I don't know, iPad, earphones. It could be earphones. It could be anything. So I'll buy a bunch of them because they're only going to cost me probably about 50 cents. I'll pack them in my suitcase, right? So now I'm becoming this retailer, right? Because I want to pack them in my suitcase, and then I'm actually I'm going to sell them. Now, the quick way that I do the selling, because a lot of times I only have a limited window when I'm at home. So what I'll do is, and these are some tips that you can use. What I'll do is I'll say, oh, look at this lotion that I got. I'll put it on Instagram. I have a separate Instagram for drop shipping. I have a separate Instagram for, if you're doing hair business. I don't mix them with my consulting, okay? Only one that I had that I mixed that's a drop shipping with my consulting is my t-shirts that match my business for consulting. Make sense? So the global CEO and all that stuff you see, that's actually a drop shipping. That is not me shipping shirts, okay? So what I'll do is I'll post this on my, most of the time it's stationery. Stationery is big money, y'all. It's a lot of money in stationery. So I'll do with this. So I have a separate planner stationery IG. Let's say I post this up there and I say, oh, because that planner community is so easy to sell to, y'all. The planner community, the stationery community is nothing like it. You can post this on your Instagram and I will say, look what I found here over here. I was like, do y'all like this? It can be a mug. They will comment below and be like, yes, I really, really like that. They know I'm over here. I will have them pay for it. They pay for it. They might have to wait 2 months to get it. Depends on unless they want to pay for the shipping. If they don't want to pay for the shipping, then they wait 2 months. They pay me and I ship it out once I get home. Got it? I have now become a reseller of the wholesale. So I've gotten 600 of these, put them in my bag. I'm now a reseller. I'm no longer a drop shipper. Got it? That's another way to make money. So once you get into the drop shipping business, if you work at home, I would encourage you at some point to really look at doing retail and buying wholesale. All right. So I've already talked about the retailer and what that is. And some of you, I think, have said that you want to do that. Even though I don't see the comments, I'll look in here. All right. So finding your niche. I need everybody to listen. Okay. So the biggest mistake that I see when people are starting a drop shipping business is they don't have a niche. They will pick a product that they say, I think will sell because I've seen someone else do it, or they haven't taken the time to research. Now, do you all know the little spinners, the little fringe spinners that everybody's buying? That did really, really well. Now, I do sometimes seasonal stores. I call them seasonal stores because that fringe spinner, when it first came out, everybody wanted it, right? Now it's kind of like dying down. Me personally, I would not continue to do a fringe spinner store. I will change it. Does that make sense? Now, that doesn't mean that you have to. Like I told you all, I'm a data person. So I started looking at things and say, okay, all of a sudden I had 600 sales. Now, 3 or 4 months later, I only got 20. It doesn't make sense for me to keep that product. Okay. Now, the only thing with that is that I also have somebody that can set up the stores. I pay somebody to do that because that's time consuming to set up stores again. All right. So that's why I said, when you're first starting out, try to find a niche, then start doing stuff like that. But that is actually a good niche, which was that fringe spinner at the time when I did this class before. They actually did well because it had just came out. Everybody was into it. I think it was selling on drop shipping for like 50 cents and people were paying $10 to $20 for each one. So that was actually a good ROI. Okay. So don't think about, so just because you see somebody doing something, don't say, oh, well, let me go in here and look. It looks like this is selling well. No, you're going to have to do some research. So finding your niche, research, study it. If you don't like it, you won't be able to market correctly. You will price the product incorrectly and you will lose money. So niche plus product equals money. Like I said, some people disagree with me. They think that you can some people put a lot of different things in the store. I'm not saying you can't. So let's say like if I had these sticky notes or whatever these are, and I had some pencils and I had some scissors and I had like a notepad, then that would make sense because that's like a stationary business. You see what I mean? Now, but if I had all of that and all of a sudden I had this lotion in there, don't do that. That's it's going to be hard for you to market that store. All right. Does that make sense? So if you're going to do makeup, do makeup. If you're going to do hair, do hair. Do hair and maybe lashes. Do something that makes sense. Keep the categories. So like, for instance, I have one that's the travel where I have like the passports, the converters, the t-shirts, but it's all in, but I mixed it in with my global t-shirts as well. So just whatever it is, make sure that you're niching it down. For example, let's say your hobby was coaching girls, and this is actually another good one. Let's say your hobby was coaching girls age 5. This is what you love to do. You love coaching basketball. Then if I was actually doing it, I would niche it down to only buying practice goals for their height, right? So think about how many coaches that are out there who might be actually coaching girls age 5 and saying, we need some practice goals because the other goals are too high for them and we need to small balls, right? That's a niche. That's a niche. And actually people do look for that, because I was a coach and I was struggling when I was working with younger kids trying to find the smaller goals and the balls. And where do you think people are going to look to when they're looking for that? Online. You see what I'm saying? That's a niche. That's how you niche it down. So it's not just about basketball shoes and that. No, I'm going to look for practice goals for the height for 5-year-olds. And then I'm also going to look for actually the small balls to fit their hands. That's a niche. Okay? Make sense? Y'all taking notes. Y'all focus. I like this. Okay. All right. Also, the competition. Okay, you will have competition, but try to avoid Amazon or eBay being one of them. Take your time to do the research and really niche it down. And the reason why I say Amazon and eBay are always going to be your competition. They're going to have everything, but if you niche it down enough, if you niche it down and if you market, if you look at your competition, which is Amazon. So if I was selling this lotion, I'm actually going to go in there and see how much Amazon is actually pricing it for. All right. I'm going to look and see what their price is. And then remember, and eBay. eBay and Amazon are usually your top two. It's going to be your competition. That's why I said a lot of times when people get into drop shipping, they don't realize. I have even clients who actually, some of them wanted to sign up. And I said, no, not yet. You're not ready to sign up yet, because it's a lot of work and I don't like to see people fail, to be honest with you. And I don't want to see people to get frustrated. So that's why I said it's a lot of research in drop shipping. Remember, I said it's a lot of research in drop shipping, right? So find out, so do your research, find out where they are buying their products from. So in other words, if I am here in Dubai, I'm actually a good target. Dubai is a good target. Anything international is a good target. And the reason why is, let's say for natural hair products that I had to, my bag was overweight because I could not, because I can't find any here. Where am I buying my products? I'm actually bringing them. I actually did buy some online from the States that cost me an arm and a leg. I would never do that again. So therefore, if somebody was selling some in a Shopify store or a retailer or something, then I would actually be a good target audience. I'm going to buy online. I can't buy anywhere else. I think there's probably maybe, I saw one store that had natural hair products over here, and I still, till this day, it's the same natural hair products, and it's something that was, I don't even really know if it's natural hair products. It's just the closest that it can get to natural hair products. I'll just say that. But you want to see where people are buying their stuff from. You want to look for products that are not offered in stores like Walmart, Target, right, that are in high demand. You want to find similar products but cheaper. So in other words, if, for instance, if I was selling, so here's this Kate Spade planner, right? I don't want to look for a Kate Spade planner, but what I could do is there's a lot of black and white planners that I can actually drop ship for cheaper. It doesn't have to be Kate Spade. Make sense? It's a planner, okay? Look for trends in the market, just like I talked about the fringe spinner. Look on Instagram. That's why I say it's a lot of research. Look for what, actually, if you all use the hashtag drop shipping or drop shipper, a lot of times you'll see products that come up in Instagram. Also, there's a lot of drop shipping groups on Facebook that you can actually join and be inside the groups, and they'll tell you, a lot of times they'll tell you what is actually hot and what's selling right now. Inside of the Facebook groups or actually on Instagram. So just do your research. Again, you know, the fringe spinners, everybody was doing it. But when I was teaching the class, I told them that they just had to market. You just have to market differently. You have to make sure you, some of them had to do paid marketing, just like you run Facebook ads. You got to run ads, the same thing for drop shipping. It's a store, it's the same thing. All right. Evergreen niches, a proven track record, high demand, not seasonal, able to find customers online. Products is on several websites and social media. Not seasonal, meaning Christmas. Try to stay away from selling stuff like Christmas, you know, Halloween, stuff like that. Don't just, unless you are going to, I don't know why Macy's came up, unless you went to Macy's. Macy's is going out of business. They're selling all their Christmas trees and Christmas ornaments. You buy all of them. You are now becoming a reseller, a wholesaler to sell them out. That's the only time you should be messing with seasonal, okay? Other than that, you should never, ever do seasonal for drop shipping, all right? So Amazon. So as you all know, Amazon has categories of what they're offering, right? They will always say, like, we have computers, we have, hold on, let me show you. Let's see. Let me show you something. I'm a visual person, and I don't know if some of y'all are in here are visual, so I'm going to do this just in case I see the visual people. Okay, you see right here? They have the different categories. These categories are pretty much, these are, you know, Amazon, of course, is drop shipping. So these are categories. You can search through these different categories, and also sometimes people find their niches in here. I had a client who ended up, what was she doing? She had, I think she did something to do with iPad covers. All right, she did iPad covers. Of course, y'all know the Fire Stick is popular right now because no one wants to actually pay for cable anymore, right? All right, hold on, y'all. Let me just take 2 seconds because some people ask some questions. Okay, so just recap. There is a product, vendor, seller, buyer, customer. Exactly. There's a product. There's a product. There's a vendor. Wait, there's a product. There's a product. There's a supplier, and there's a customer. Yes. Yep. So people can sell their shirts after you send them. Exactly. For fulfillment. Wholesale. Who do I pay to set up the stores? Okay. All right. So I do have somebody, and I need to ask her, and I did not ask her before I got in this class. I should have. It's actually one of my VAs. So one of the things I believe in, y'all, is to have a VA for everything that you do. I have one because everybody has their own gifts, and whatever your weakness is, you should have a VA for. Okay, mine's is I'm an executor. Okay, so the last time when I tried to set up a eBay and Amazon store, I thought I was gonna pull my hair out. I was like, oh, this is not me. Lord, this is not my gift. Now I can sell and do all that, but that's just not my gift. So you can hire someone who just does Shopify. You can go on, and I'll ask her if she's gonna do it. She probably would for this class. I don't, and maybe she'll give a discount, but you can go on Upwork. Some of my clients use Upwork. They will actually post saying that they need someone to set up their Shopify store or whichever retail store, whatever it is you want to do. I don't know which one, big e-commerce, and they will actually do it for you. Okay, yeah, Fiverr will do it, Keon, as well. And so you can actually have someone do it for you. If you are the person, now look, I need y'all to be honest with yourselves starting today. If you have too many things to do, I'm gonna need y'all to pay somebody to set up your store. Okay, and I'm being honest because then you won't get it done. I promise you won't get it done. All right. Or if you have time and you're like, I really want to learn, I want to set it up myself, then set it up yourself. But just don't wait too long, because this is the thing. The reason why, because I was not going to do this class until next year, but I did it because I wanted everybody to try to do something before you go into 2018. I don't want people to say in 2018 I'm gonna have a drop shipping store. I was like, no, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna have this store up and running, and y'all be making some coins going for Christmas. How about that? Okay, that's what I need y'all to be focused on. That's all. I want you to focus that your store is gonna be running, and y'all gonna have this Christmas sale, whatever it is you want to call it. The theme, that's the reason for the store. And then if I did this for y'all better have some stores going. And I am so serious. That's why I got the little theme that says drop your store. Y'all know, people who know me know I'm so serious. I'll hold y'all accountable. I will send y'all a message on Facebook in a minute. Okay? All right? Because I want you all to do this. I'm telling you, this is extra streams of income. Also, this This right here, honestly, if you do it right, I have one client who pays all her bills, her mortgage, and everything just through drop shipping, y'all. She pays all of it, okay? Yes, accountability is key with Wendy. Yes, it is, Stephanie. All right, so we're gonna get that. I love y'all though. It's out of love, I promise it is. Y'all gonna love and like me probably by the time it's over. It's okay though. Okay, so toys is good, y'all. Of course, Christmas is coming up. So if you decide you want to do a store with toys, you know, health products, clothing, electronics, is a good thing to do as well. So it's just going to depend on what you're trying to do. We're going to talk about a little bit more. So there's another thing called Google Keyword Planner. You know, they talk about hobbies, also Google AdWords, where you can also find a niche as well, okay? So we are going to, like I told you, I'm visual. I'm going to take y'all through the steps. So I don't want to hear no excuses, okay? I will need my store. Jocelyn, oh, I didn't know y'all were here. Some of y'all, hey, y'all. Okay. So we're going to look at Google AdWords. And if some of y'all have done this, I apologize for repeating it, but some people haven't. And so I just want to make sure people know how to search for their niche. All right. I like this. I play with this probably every day, y'all. Just, it doesn't have to do with drop shipping, just to see what's popular. You could even do consulting. You can do coaching, see what people look for, people type of diets, people trying to be on. Okay, so this is Google AdWords. All right, you can run campaigns in here. You can do it by countries. But what I use it for when it comes just for drop shipping is this. So see how it has like how many people are searching Google for coaching, business, life coaching, but that's not what we're going to use it for. Let's say, let's do yoga. Okay, so yoga socks. So if I put in yoga socks, y'all know we on international struggle net over here, so it might take a second, okay? Oh, it says a new version. Please refresh this page. Maybe that's one. Hold on. Oh, yeah. I had to stop sharing, make sure, you know, my password's in here. Yes, thank you, Google AdWords. Thank you, Jocelyn. All right. Does anybody use this Google AdWords? It's good for business. If you have another business, you need to use it. It'll help you. So look, so here's yoga socks, right? Look how many people, over 100-some thousand people are looking for yoga socks. I am not getting ready to sell just yoga socks, okay? Because look how many people are looking for them. Right? I want to niche it down just a little bit more, not just yoga socks. And I don't even know why I chose yoga socks, but anyway. Green yoga socks. 0. I'm not going to sell any green yoga socks because no one's looking for green yoga socks, right? So maybe people are looking for red yoga socks. Now you see how I keep niching this down? No one's looking for red either. Is anybody looking for blue? Maybe black. I don't know why I chose yoga socks. I have no idea. Oh, so 260 people are actually looking for black yoga socks. Okay, so you have some people looking for that. What's another color? I did red. I don't know. Well, give me one second. Do y'all see what I'm doing? I guess nobody's looking for that. Hold on, somebody got a question. Gray. Zero. So yoga socks might not be a good, yoga socks, people are looking for them, but it's not telling you which color. So what that would mean, if I decided to do yoga socks, I'm gonna have to do a whole lot of research. And I mean, it still might be beneficial because that many people's looking for them. I just need to figure out what exactly they're actually looking for. Are they looking for purple? Are they looking for green? If, you know, if I was a fitness person, you know, I will look and see, maybe, see, look, it breaks it down to some grip socks. Maybe it's not the color. Maybe it's just the texture. Do y'all see that? Where it says more like this, so you can click. So that's why I said that I like Google AdWords, because it actually breaks it down for you. Again, it doesn't have to even be just a drop shipping. This is just another side bonus. This is how, I mean, people today have been looking for coaching for life, coaching businesses. It tells you. So guess what? So if you're actually running ads and things, you might want to run your ads using some of these keywords. Make sense? Ah, look at that. Miss Brown, you do yoga, girl. That's why I couldn't find that, because I don't do yoga. That's exactly what I couldn't find. Look, so organic. That was a good one. See? Okay. So you can maybe put some organic socks in there in your store. Maybe you want to put, what was that other color? Whatever color it was. Some black yoga socks in there. You see what I mean? Do y'all get that now? Any questions? Y'all get how I did that and reason why I did that? So you do the search category, then the item, like, exactly. Yep. So you could just put it inside of, so right here. You could put it right here and it'll come up. You could even do it by country. So now for me, most of the time I always have a country, because y'all know I do a lot of international stuff. So I'm usually doing mine by country to see what people are looking for in that country, and especially with drop shipping. All right, so you can do it also by country. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, so classic. So Ms. Brown said that she knows what people like in their niches. So good. So this is the thing, y'all. Y'all know I truly believe, like, when to help you work together, you network together when you're in a group. So if you have, like, if you're doing graphics, if you're a graphic designer in here, if you do websites, you need to drop your information. I'll put a thread up. I don't know, I might already have one. I don't need to look. But if I usually put one that says resources or sharing, I might already have it in there. But if it's resources or sharing, if you do graphics, if you, like Ms. Brown says, she helps people with niches, and I hope that's a business, Ms. Brown, side note, then you need to put that information down there, okay? Put it inside the group. And I will ask the person who does my my stores if she's doing it anymore, okay? Got it? Why, Ms. Brown, why you ain't answer me? I hope that's a business. It should be. Let me see what she said. Oh, it needs to be. All right, so that's, here it is, AdWords, okay? So Google AdWords. You can go back and watch the replay if you need to review, but please make sure that some of you might have your niche. Now, this is what I'm gonna give y'all this week. I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna give y'all this. Since next week, now usually what I'll say is do not inbox me a whole bunch of messages, because it's hard for me to answer. And plus, I'm 9 hours ahead of you, right? Oh, that's what that is. Okay. Got it. Thank you, because I sure didn't know. Next week, if you have a niche, because everybody's not going to want to share their niche with everybody, okay? And it's okay. If you want to inbox me on Facebook and say, Wendy, do you think this is a good niche? And listen, I need y'all to understand. I will say yes, no, and be very truthful. No, I need you to start over. I'm going to be 110% honest with you. If I look at it, it might take me a few minutes because I really want to research it. But if it's something that I know, then I'm saying, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Or I'll say, no, you just need to narrow it down. Or you need to maybe add this to it, okay? So next week, I will allow y'all to inbox me if you want to do that, to make sure you're on the right track. Or if you have a question about it, okay? Because I know everybody doesn't want to share their niche. No, I'm okay. I get it, all right? even though y'all need to share your store once it's done. Just so, you know, somebody might want to buy from y'all. You never know. You might get your first sale actually here in the group. All right, so do not select products that are trademark or patent. You don't want to do like Coach, Apple, Michael Kors, things like that. This is the thing also. If you decide, is coffee cold? If you decide to do, so my son has a store, and this store has drove us crazy. Now, it has been very profitable store for him at the age of 19. I'm gonna talk about this because I really need y'all to hear this. It has been very, very profitable for, he's a sneakerhead. So he sells sneakers, which are name brand sneakers. They're trademarked, right? He has his own store. But what happens is when you start selling name brand things and start shipping them to people, guess what they'll say sometimes? Oh, they're not real. Oh, they're not authentic, even though they're authentic. And then they want to try to keep them, or they'll shut down your store, because his store actually got shut down a couple of months ago. Yes, Stephanie, you could do that. Yeah. And we had to fight to try to get it back. It was a hot mess because I was actually looking for the store. I couldn't find it. I thought he changed his name on me because he always told me, Mommy, I think you just be trying to look at my store so you can see how much money I make. Yes, I do. And so I thought that he had actually changed his store, but he was making, honestly, y'all, and he still does now. He's back in run, but he's 19 years old. And since the age of 12, he actually is actually better than me when it comes to this drop shipping. I'll be totally honest with you, because his minimum, y'all, in sneakers is between $5,000 a month right now. He's averaging $5,000 at 19 years old selling that, okay? Yes, he had it for a long time because I was not buying any more Jordans. That's why he started his business. I told him, this is the last pair of Jordans I'm buying. You to figure out how to do it. And so he did. And so he's been doing very well with it. So that's why I said just really, but he's back up and running. But they'll do that because he's selling Nike. You know what I mean? They'll run into somebody put in a complaint, you're selling fake shoes. So that's why I said, honestly, y'all, he's not going to change from that. That's his thing. That's what he likes doing. Honestly, just try to stay away from that. Just don't do name brands, please. All right, just to be honest with you, especially starting out, because you're going to get frustrated and then you're not going to do the stores anymore, okay? Jocelyn said, when we search, should we look for a minimum search amount example to go with category? Yeah, exactly. Go with something that's less. So in other words, if there was 500 lotions, that 500, what is this? Shea butter, then I'm gonna go with 500 shea butter versus 10,000 rosemary lotions. Make sense? I want to narrow it down. You want to niche it down. Okay, make sense? Okay. Now, sometimes you can flip it. Sometimes what I will do is if there's a lot of people like those fringe spinners, there was a lot of people. There were over 100-some-thousand people looking for them. But guess what? There were, I think when we did it, it might have been like 5,000 were looking for the ones with the lights. So I told them to sell the ones with the lights. Make sense? Because it was something different that people were looking for, and it was unique. Okay, so that's my spill on the whole. I want to make sure I tell you all that because you have to be careful with selling authentic. All right, so remember, you are the supplier. You are still the supplier for the customer. Okay, so you want to make sure that you are still providing good customer service, because in other words, even though this product is coming from the supplier, it looks like it's on your store. It looks like that you have it. It looks like that I'm actually selling this product, right? I'm actually selling this product. So therefore, I'm responsible for the shipping. I'm responsible for the customer service. That person at the other end, even though you would deal with the supplier if you have any issues, the customer is only going to see you. So that's why I said, if you are a person, and I'm going to say this early on, who is very busy, you might have to have a VA that just runs your Shopify or e-commerce store. There's a lot of VAs out there to do it. There's a whole lot of them. Now, I know Keon, I think earlier said Fiverr. Only thing about Fiverr, is that you have to continue to pay them on and on and on. If you go to Upwork and post an ad, and I think you can on Fiverr too. I have actually had better success finding VAs on Upwork, posting them and tell them, I want you to run my store for, I don't know, you could do a flat rate. I suggest not do hourly because you really don't know what they're doing unless you have a task list. Just say, you could do $100 a month, $200 a month, and ask them to run your store for you. They're checking for customer service. Maybe they're looking at the products. Maybe they're posting on social media, whatever it is. If you're a busy person, I suggest that you start looking, or at least have that written down, that you're going to actually have a virtual assistant that's going to help you with your store. Now, as you all know, virtual assistants, depending on where they are, can give you a headache. Some are good, some are bad. I've had a mixture. I have two now that's been with me for a while. One's been with me, I think it's going on 2.5 years now, y'all. I cannot believe it's been that long. But Lord knows, we have gone through some things, okay? But it's almost like, okay, that's a terrible analogy I was going to use, y'all. I was about to say, okay, I'm going to say it anyway. I'm going to stop. So I was about to say, it's like, when you date somebody for a long time and you didn't, okay, Keon, I'm sorry. And you didn't train him well, okay? And then all of a sudden, you just like, do I really want to get this up and go through all of this again, right? Or do I continue on to train him the right way? So that's exactly what I did with my VA. I was like, listen, I can't go through that again. We just got to work this out, boo. We just got to do what we have to do. So have patience with your VAs if they're virtual, y'all. Train them to be the way that you want them to be. All right? I'm telling you, they will take you through the ringer. Sometimes they won't do things. Jocelyn probably is like, I ain't thinking about you, Wendy. I ain't have another VA. I know she's laughing because she just will not. Some people just won't do it. But when it comes to this, if you have another job, you're going to have to, but do not pay anybody by hourly rate. I don't care what they say. If they say to you, no, $3, $4 an hour, no. Ask for, when it comes to drop shipping, do a flat fee. And you could even do something, say, listen, I will, for $150, $200 a month, let's try it. Put some things in place for them to do, some goals, to set some deadlines. And if they make the mark, maybe you'll up it. Maybe you'll go to $300 a month because you're making $300 an hour. So it makes sense to pay them more because they're running your store. But have milestones, but do not do an hourly rate when it comes to drop shipping because you won't know what they're doing. I mean, you can't keep up with all that unless you say, no, you just can't. Don't do it. I don't even know what you could say, to be honest with you. Because even posting, you can't, like if you're busy, you can't look and see how many times they're posting because you're doing your other business. You know what I mean? So you don't want to have to be micromanaging. You might as well do it yourself. All right? This question was, yeah, the store would be automated. It would be. So it's basically just like, you could put, cause like you could, when we get to it, Jocelyn, you'll see where it could be 15,000 products of that one product in your store. It just depends. Yeah. So it can be automated. You shouldn't have to do anything except for really market. You might have to change your descriptions. It's something not selling, but it's just ongoing. I call it making money in your sleep. I mean, that's what it is. All right. Now, I personally, I don't know, again, what your niche is. I don't know what you all want to do. I stay away from things that can break. Some cell phone cases I've had a lot of issues with in the past, but hold that thought. The other thing is mirrors, things that break, because then people are going to complain. It was just too much of a headache. That's just me personally. Does not mean that you can't do it, because some people might want to do that. So it just depends. But you're going to assume a lot of risk, and you really want to take away from people complaining, saying I got my package, it was broken, and going through all that. Now, the cell phone cases. The reason why I said that's kind of iffy is because when there's a new cell phone that comes out, like what's coming out now? What just came out in the States, y'all? The iPhone 8. Everybody's looking for cases. So before it comes out, you can actually have your store just sell iPhone 8 cases. Everybody's going to be looking for them, right? So that's why I said it's kind of, if you want to do a cell phone cases, make a lot of money, y'all, a lot of money. And so if you do a store like that, just look at the products that you're putting in there. Maybe try to look at, talk to the supplier and ask them, you know, because you can always message them and say, you know, how many returns are you getting? You know, do you have a lot of complaints on that product before you actually sell it? So again, the strategy would be if you are looking to do cell phones or cell phone accessories, then you want to see when what's coming out next. If you already know that the iPhone 8 Plus is coming out in December, there's some drop shipping stores already selling that. A lot of people don't know it because they're not doing drop shipping, and you can actually stock your store with that. I used to do that when the iPhone, I think it was the iPhone 5. It's been a minute, y'all. iPhone 5. Oh my God, he had that store. Oh, that's one thing. How well does jewelry do? Jewelry does well. I actually have clients who do jewelry. Jewelry actually does really, really well, Sean, to be honest with you. Actually really good. But jewelry also does well as a retail. But you don't have time for that. So you need to do drop shipping. Do drop shipping for jewelry. And then, you know, if you really start liking it and if you had time, then do it. But I know you already got a lot on plate. So I would encourage you just to do drop shipping, but it does well. Especially, I'll just say this, I can't call no names because that wouldn't be right. So I'll just say on Instagram, there are some really popular people and on Periscope who do jewelry. You know, you research and you look and see what's selling and their products that people are liking, like the big pieces now, everybody's liking those. That does well. I would encourage you to also, if you're doing something like jewelry, to actually buy the piece. Honestly, when I drop ship anything, I usually buy it. Only time I don't is with, like, if I'm over here and I can't, then I might actually send it, make my aunt or somebody else buy it, because I want to see the product. Make sense? So a lot of times people will do drop shipping and they have all these products, but they've never ever seen them. And so if a customer messages you and says, you know, well, how, you know, what's the quality of it? What does it feel like? And you're like, because you don't have the product. So I encourage you all to actually buy the product, to sample the product for yourselves. Also, especially Sean, if you're going to do jewelry, buy the jewelry and wear the jewelry. You know, of course, like in all your pictures and stuff, and then that'll sell. And you're very good with Instagram and marketing. So you would actually do really well even with your current business, right? You can actually do, oh, that would be good, Sean. Yes, you need to do jewelry because that would actually go well. That would blend both of your businesses kind of together. Actually, that would be really good. That would be really, really good. All right. You know, my mind is thinking that over here. Okay. So remember, you're also trying to solve a problem. So if y'all hear, can y'all hear me still? Because I don't know if y'all can hear the mosque behind me. So if it gets too loud, I'll turn this up. So the problem that you're actually trying to solve is, for instance, Sean was talking about, okay. The problem you're trying to solve is, let's say if someone was looking for jewelry, they're going to a party, and they're like, are they going to a photo shoot? Maybe, like I have a client, her niche is, all she does is photo shoots. She's a photographer. And so she said that when women are coming to her, what Sean was talking about, which is jewelry, usually they can't find jewelry. So she actually has a lot of big pieces, big earrings, like things that stand out, and they're just for a photo shoot because people can't find them. So the problem that she's solving is that she's actually, now the clients that's coming to her, they're able to, you know, she's actually able to offer stylists, the people that she may be doing a photo shoot, saying, oh, you know, I have some jewelry pieces that you can look at. So not only is she being their photographer, but she's also selling the jewelry on the other hand, okay? So you also want to make sure you're actually solving a problem. Now, the return on investment. The higher your prices are, the higher your profit return. I always say you at least want to get 30%. Honestly, if you can get 50, that's great, but the minimum it shouldn't be any less than 30% of a profit margin of whatever the price is, which we'll talk about later, of your product. You know, so you don't want to say, okay, I bought my Shopify, not my Shopify, my drop shipping supplier sells the lotion for $1.20 and I made $1.50. No, that's not what we want to do. It doesn't make sense. If you can honestly try to get 50% markup, it's better, but if you can't, at least 30%. It's really going to depend on what you're selling. Okay, So some other example niches could be, dealing in sports, weight loss, women's clothing, gaming, electronics, technology, and of course the travel accessories. And inside of the group, I actually gave you all some creative niches as well. Some other things are planners. Planners and stationery, y'all have no idea. I don't know if anybody in here who's planner. Let me show you something. A planner person. Anybody in here who likes stationery? Anybody in here who likes pens and paper? Do y'all know that there is a planner community and society, that they do conferences with over thousands and thousands of people who come together to talk about planners? Well, I'm a planner person. I love planners. I love this. Okay, so I'm going to show you all somebody. How much is this? Okay. This is called So Much Crafting. They're actually inserts for a planner. I don't like the inserts that come inside of planners. I hate them. So this lady, okay, actually does the inserts, all right? So the inserts can be like for meal planning, what you do today, and then they go inside of the planner. Now, the lady who sells these was actually, I think she was an engineer, and her husband, maybe he was an engineer as well. Do you know they're both now just selling these daggone inserts and making more money than they ever have in their engineering, because that's how big the planner community is, okay? So when you're talking about niching down, you can do pens, you can do paper, but if you are doing stationery, journals, right? Planners, things comparable to school, yes, exactly. If you are, I love stationery, thank you. Yes, okay, listen. I'm telling y'all now, if you like stationery and planners, that's a great niche and it makes a lot of money, okay? But your target audience is going to be, it's called hashtag planner community, hashtag planners, hashtag planner society, hashtag planner addicts, and then you can do hashtag Kate Spade. Can y'all tell that I really, really am into planners and stuff? Can y'all tell? It's so sad, but listen, y'all, you have no idea how much money is made in this. So if you wanted to do notebooks, if you wanted to do planners, if you wanted to do pens, it's a lot of money. Planners think compared, it's a lot of planners are just like Tish said. It's almost like scrapbooking. Remember how everybody used to do scrapbooking? So now everybody does planners and put different things in it. So just don't, I don't know what your niche might be, but you might want to consider doing. Sean, are you typing? I knew it. All right. Hi. Yes. Y'all, you have no idea. I'm serious. I need y'all to really research this planner. If you like stationery, travel items, yes, travel. Travel's good too. We're going to see how I do with this new test of travel, Tish. I'll let you know how this works out. So that's another niche. Pins, you can do based on culture, like prayer rugs, copper cups for India. I had a client that was doing that. She was just selling all the copper because in India, they drink out of copper cups, okay? Teas, spices, baby teething rings, hair weave, travel pieces, abayas, hijabs for the Muslim countries. And the reason why I put that is because when I used to go over to Saudi Arabia, they actually, you have to wear the abaya, not the hijab, not the headpiece, the abaya, when you're coming off the plane. When you are coming off the plane, you have to have it on. Well, sometimes people, honestly, they couldn't find them, especially in the States. I have a client right now who's traveling, and she could not find an abaya. She found it online, but when she found it online, like it was too big, and then one was too small. It was just too much. So abayas are good to focus on. Also, remember I said about the people are tired of paying cable bills, so you can actually do streaming devices, home birthing accessories, expats. living in different countries like me. You could do wigs. That's just for cancer patients. I mean, there's a whole bunch. I love Abayas too. I'll add spices. Oh, yeah, that's good, Nicole. Exactly. I'm doing wellness product where people start. You know what, Nicole, because you're doing wellness products. Also you could drop ship journals as well, because I know you have the journal piece in there, so don't forget about that. So you can add that to your store. There's some journals inside of drop shipping. All right. Other things is shoes for size women. Shoes for size women. I need some more coffee. Shoes for women size 10. I'm just giving y'all some randomness, but still, some people, women have trouble. Are size 11, size 12. Clothing for tall women or men. I should have put our men. That actually, I definitely should have put men, because my husband is 6'9", and a lot of times it is hard. And my 5'4" short self looking for him, pants and clothing. That's actually a lot of times we find a lot of things online. Also traveling chargers, healthcare, gloves, bracelets for women, also hats, headwear for kids with cancer. You can have it just as, there's a client of mine who just does hats. She does hats and something, scarves, I think, just for kids who actually have cancer. Books based on travel. You can do alarm clocks just for truck drivers. There's a variety of ways that you could actually take one item. Just like I said, the alarm clocks for truck drivers are men who actually travel, because when I had my trucking company, I used to have truck drivers that actually would sleep through every alarm there was. And so I had to find something that was loud. And so there was actually somebody that was actually selling that. Yes, for men who are tall. Exactly. That's a good point. For men who are tall, it really is, especially like belts and things like that. The last class, one of the clients, he's doing men, and I think he's just doing, but he niched it down. He didn't do shirts and pants and all of that. He just did pants. He niched it all the way down. All right. And I can't tell you what else, but he niched it down a little bit more. I guess I shouldn't tell everything, but he niched it down even more, but I'll say it's just pants. Alibaba is another place that you can actually go to that does a lot of drop shipping. You can see exactly like what they're actually selling. It'll say like, how many products there is. There's so many places that you can actually look to find your niche. But like a lot of you all in here, you already have your niche, but I just want you all, even though you might say, I want to do travel, but are you going to niche it down to just 2 or 3 travel accessories? Which I would encourage you to do. I wouldn't encourage you to do too many at first. You want to see exactly what sells. So for instance, if I was doing travel, I might do passport covers. I would do converters, and then I would do maybe 2 or 3 different types of converters, for the wall. See which one of those converters sell the most. The one that's not doing well, I will remove it from the store. It doesn't make sense to have that product there if it's not doing well. Only keep what's working in your store, so you can actually do, like I always say, look at your data, see what's selling and what's not selling. Put 2 or 3 things in there, but remove it if it's not working, okay? Yolanda, private label. What do you mean? I'm trying to think. Kind of, sort of, Yolanda. Are you looking to do private label? Because you talking about private label, like, so in other words, like I had a hair business and I did private labeling for my hair business, with the labels and stuff like that. A lot of people in here this is more drop shipping, but Yolanda, exactly. Send me a message, like for items. Send me a message and tell me what you're going to be doing. And maybe, because a lot of people are probably not going to do private labeling in here. It doesn't look like, but let me know what you're trying to do. Okay. And I'll find you something. But I know something, because I did that with hair. Like for hair, I did it, you could do it for lashes and stuff like that. Yeah, I need to know what you're trying to do first. And I probably have a vendor for you. All right. So inbox me. Now, I like to make money as I go. Okay, so I always tell people, and actually, this is Jocelyn. Where is she? Jocelyn actually is someone who actually is in our group who actually teaches you how to make extra money as well. So Jocelyn actually has a couple of classes and programs that come out, and she'll put it inside the Facebook group. But I always believe in, while you're actually trying to do your drop shipping business, a lot of times you need to make money as you go to build your business. Because a lot of times people think that, oh, I'm just set this drop shipping store up and I don't have to have any money. You don't have to have any money, except for like Shopify gives you 14 days free trial. Then it's like $29 a month that you pay, but you have to market. So it's going to cost you to market your business. There is no way that you're going to have a drop shipping store without doing some Facebook ads or putting some money into marketing. So I always say to try to look for ways that you can actually earn extra income, like on OfferUp. There are apps where you can sell your clothes. You can actually, I don't know if you all even knew this or not, but on eBay, if you set up an eBay store and you have old appliances, I don't know if you all knew that Africa actually buys old appliances. So all the appliances that you probably took to Goodwill, you could have sold on eBay, because a lot of them, they will actually buy those appliances from you. You know how we buy our coffee pots and we continue to buy more and we switch out? Yeah, that. But also they buy clothing. So look for ways during this time also that you can make money, sell, but don't go buy something else. Take that money, say this is going to be $200 that I made in a yard sale that I'm actually going to use on my Facebook ads for my drop shipping store. I try to tell people this early on, because what happens is when they start building their store, they're just like, okay, I'm going to do a Facebook ad for $5, or I'm going to do one for $2, or I'm not going to do any because I don't have any money. Don't do that. You have to spend money on ads when you're doing drop shipping. Okay? Please don't forget that. All right? So there are 4 main goals for finding your niche. 1, you want to find suppliers that your competition is using. Keep in mind that the competition raises their prices over cost. So in other words, your competition, of course, is like a Walmart, Target. You know, you can actually look and see exactly who their customer is. It's a research. Do you have to set up an account before you use Google AdWords? It's just your Google account. That's all. I would go ahead and set up a Google account, because you can run ads in there too. Other thing, you want to try to find suppliers that I said that are not on Alibaba. I want you to, I like Alibaba. Don't get me wrong. It's just that if you're going to use Alibaba, this is more for my people who are doing, you can still do drop shipping through Alibaba, but if you're doing retail and you decide to use Alibaba suppliers, because right now, I don't know if you all know that Alibaba, most suppliers are going to Alibaba, or there's a waiting list for them to be on Alibaba who are wholesalers. If you are going to use them, I encourage you, that little contact button that they say you can contact them on, use it. Ask them for a Skype meeting. Ask them, can you talk to them about their products? It's very, very important. You're in the wholesale. See, that's what you would look for. I do. I've been researching for a while and have a hard time finding suppliers. It depends. What kind of suppliers you're looking for? I'm going to drop some. I'm going to give y'all a list of suppliers and stuff. It depends on what you're looking for. But this is the thing. A lot of times people have trouble finding suppliers because you're looking. Make sure when you can look, but I need you to ask for a Skype meeting with them. Is it or a WhatsApp meeting or a WeChat meeting, whatever it is that they chat on, you need to ask for a face-to-face meeting. If they say they don't do that, that kind of like makes me feel like, well, I don't want to do business with you. If you can't take 10 minutes to talk to me about your product, if they actually really want to do business and they're really good suppliers, they're going to set up a meeting with you online, okay? You want to look for suppliers with low costs starting out in countries, of course, like India and China. There's some things in Mexico. And if you are looking for, is anybody in here doing hair? Is anybody in here? You said you were looking. You want to message me, Miss Lee. Do you want to message me, or do you mind telling me what supplier you're looking for? Is anybody looking for hair or anything? And when you said you were looking for, interested in wholesale, what kind of wholesale? What do you mean by wholesale? Like you want to, oh, beauty products. Okay. I'm actually going to Okay. Accessories. All right. I'm actually going to the suppliers that I'm going to give you all are the suppliers that I've actually met, which is good. Okay. Interested in scrubs. Okay. I'll go back and look at this chat. That I've met most of them. There's another big trade show that's coming. Is it during this time? I'm trying to think if this trade show is going to be during your class. I can't remember. There's a trade show that's coming. They're all coming from China. It's huge. It comes to Dubai every year. It's a huge, huge trade show that I go to. I honestly cannot remember if it's going to be during the time of this class or not. But this is what I'm going to do. If it is not during this class, I'm going to drop it still in the Facebook group, okay? So even though the replays won't be there, I'll drop the suppliers, all right? In the manufacturers, suppliers, whoever I find, I will drop them inside the Facebook group for you all. Because I'm thinking it might be in December. It is in December. It is in December. So it'll be after this class. But I don't mind dropping the suppliers in the group for y'all, okay? I'll do that. I've been on AliExpress, but selection is limited. It is. Alibaba, honestly, everybody, I don't know if y'all read, see, that's nothing. So you have to read. So if you want to be a drop shipper or be an e-commerce, change your reading. Sign up for a lot of e-commerce readings and things about drop shipping, because I don't know if y'all know that Alibaba, everybody is trying to get on Alibaba. Like every wholesaler there is will be on Alibaba at some point. They're about to, even though they have their negative things that are going on, there's nothing negative like AliExpress, even though they're kind of hand to hand. You want to make sure that you still look on Alibaba for your suppliers. But again, make sure that use that button. Don't just message them and talk about, you know, do you have this and that? Ask for a face-to-face Skype, depending on the country, Skype, WeChat, or a WhatsApp meeting. Okay, I think now, when I talked to somebody in China the other day, y'all know that WhatsApp is no longer there, so you have to use WeChat for China. Okay, so that's an app you can download it on your phone. There are a couple of different drop shipping options. Now, like I told you all, we're going to talk about Shopify, but I'm also going to talk about, there's a Printful. I use Spreadshirt. So just because you have...
Now you sit up. Sit up.
Somebody mute your phone. I got it. I think I got it. So you can use, there's another one, Spreadshirt. If you all notice on my, the shirts that I actually sell, like my Global CEO, Inspiring Decisions, all those shirts, they're done on Spreadshirt. It's a drop shipping. That's what drop shipping is. All right. There's Overload, there's AliExpress, there's BigCommerce, and there's Printful. There's a whole bunch of them. I want to tell you something. So if you look on my website, you'll see where it says Global Queens. What I did was, again, I cannot ship out shirts. It would be a mess, okay? The worst customer service ever, all right? I'll be on the news probably. Seriously, it'd be so bad. I went on, well, some of them before I had somebody do the designs. I went on Fiverr. I told somebody, I gave them what I wanted to be on the shirt, right? There's a bunch of t-shirt designers. They designed the t-shirt. No, you're not designing the t-shirt. They gave me the graphic for the t-shirt. I took the graphic and I went on Spreadshirt, and then I posted the graphic up there, and now they're drop shipping them for me. Now, I don't make a whole lot of money as I would if I was a retailer shipping out my own shirts. But again, I can't do the customer service piece of it, so it doesn't make sense. But I wanted to have t-shirts because that's another stream of income, right? So now if you go and people want to buy mugs, I have mugs up there. I have, what else I have? T-shirts. I got all kinds of stuff on there from Spreadshirt. It's not just t-shirts. You could do mugs. You can do tote bags. You can do hats. You can do cell phone covers. You can do all of that. So Spreadshirt is another drop shipping company. That's drop shipping, okay? Oh, yeah. Okay, so, but, yeah, they have backpacks too, Stephanie. They do. They have backpacks. They got everything on Spreadshirt. Now, some people don't like Spreadshirt. I like Spreadshirt. It's It's been fine. And actually, Patricia, who's in here, just got one. She's in Korea. And so she actually, it took some time for whatever reason for her shirt to get to her, but she actually did get the shirt. So she drop shipped she bought one of my shirts and it actually was shipped to Korea and I didn't have to touch it. And okay, you see what I mean? Gumroad now. Gumroad. Sean bought a good. What'd you say, Patricia?
I was just plugging you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, what you say, girl? If you plug me, go ahead. Then what you say?
Sorry, guys. This is Patricia. I live in South Korea, and I purchased one of Wendy's shirts, and it's really nice. And the way it came folded, everything was professionally done. I don't know why it took a while to come to me, but my post guy told me that my address isn't my address. So that's why I live in a new area. So they're changing the addresses because it's an up and coming area. But go to the website for the Global Queens t-shirts. They're really, really nice and they're soft. And I washed mine and it didn't shrink. I didn't put it in a dryer because we don't have dryers, but I hung dry it and it's fine. The color didn't fade or anything.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm in that no dry world too over here, girl. Things we do for international. I designed my shirts, but trying to open my t-shirt store. Okay, Miss Brown. Okay, Miss Brown, you know better than to put that word trying in there. I am trying. She's designing her shirts and she's going to be opening her t-shirt store. That's what she meant to say. Okay, so for the t-shirts, so again, thank you, Patricia, for that. I didn't have to touch it, right? I didn't have to touch it, okay? So if you have a business, I'm gonna get you, Sean, I ain't forgot. If you have a business and you wanna add products today, hint, hint, some people, you can design a t-shirt, you can design a mug, you can design whatever it is, have it on Fiverr, I think they charge, I don't know what they charge, $15, $20, whatever it is they charge now. Have somebody design it because I need y'all to execute. Have somebody design it and then put it on a spreadshirt. It's easy to set up. Now that's the easiest drop shipping to set up. That's even like Teespring, okay? Miss Brown. No, you're not. You got it. I'm glad you said it. We're gonna talk about that too. Now, Sean, for Gumroad, I have Gumroad too. I'm telling y'all, listen, I have multiple platforms for drop shipping. I need my coins everywhere. So my t-shirt is also from Spreadshirt, Sean, to Gumroad. So now I'm selling on Spreadshirt because Spreadshirt has their own marketing place, you all, okay? So you can sell on Spreadshirt, sell on this from Spreadshirt to your Shopify, from Spreadshirt to your Gumroad, from Spreadshirt to your website. So my t-shirt is on all of those platforms. Make sense? So I need y'all to, but when you are first starting out, I need you all, I'm going to give you only 2 in this class because I know, because some of you all I've coached before and I coach. So I'm going to say that you only get 2 in this class. That's a drop shipping store and maybe a t-shirt, maybe Spreadshirt. Don't try to do too much, okay? All right? Y'all got it? Make sense? Okay. Ms. Brown, no, you have so listen, you're talking about the struggles of plugins, literature. No, you, listen, with the email marketing stuff, you will have to do email marketing with drop shipping. You will, some. Now, me personally, I haven't had to because I've been doing more Facebook ads. I'd rather put my money in Facebook ads, Instagram ads, this other one, I can't think of the name of it. It's another paid ad. I'll have it for y'all. But I'd rather do that than the whole email marketing for Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, for drop shipping. But if you are an email person and you like to email, do your email marketing for your drop shipping. By all means, please. Okay? Please do that. The other thing is when you're talking about marketing, which we'll talk about also, is blogging. Blog about your Shopify store or your t-shirt business, okay? Exactly. And you can sell from your blog. Exactly. I have high school senior and I need all the coins. I know that's right. And I have 2 at college, so I totally feel you on this. Okay. So Ms. Brown, we are not going to be struggling with getting anything set up in here. We're going to set up the store before we leave here. That's why y'all are going to have a week to find your niche. So there is no excuse. I'm telling you, this is the part, honestly, you know it, where people, I'm telling you, this niche piece is where people mess up every single class. That's why I said I will not move forward. I will put a week in between. Now, if I put a week in between and you still haven't found your niche, you need reach out to me. You need to say, listen, I'm struggling. I got about 10 niches or things that I want to do. Help me decide. Just ask. Okay. I promise you, I'll tell you the truth and I'll help you. Because I really honestly, I want you all to be successful. And people who know me, who have taken my class stuff, I honestly, 110%, I do this only because I care. Okay. Now, the assignment is going to be, there's a document called Finding Your Niche. It'll help you find, it's a tool that I actually use to help me define my niche, to narrow it down. Again, there will be no class on October 19th. I'm going to show you all where this is. So we got, 1 second. Inside the group, Sean, there's a thread that says, I think I said store or something. I think I put store. I think it's called store. You could drop it there. What am I supposed to be showing you? Oh, hold on. Oh, got too much going on. Hold on. Okay. So I did this for y'all. So inside of the, not the dropshipping store, inside of Facebook, I did like a little PDF of different niches as well. Okay. There's some more things. Also, here is the worksheet, okay, that'll maybe help you brainstorm. People said it was helpful for them. Like I said, you might already have your niche, you know, that you actually want to do, that you're thinking about. But I do want you all, if you do have it, look in Google AdWords and see how popular it is or see how popular it's not. Every day, that's Google. So that is based on people searching at that moment when you look in there, okay, at that moment. Make sense? Well, that's a good question, Yolanda. What is the best way to come up with a store name? So we talk about that somewhere. I can't remember which class it is, but that's a good question. It really is. You want to do, I'm going to have to write this down because I know I can't remember. There is a website, there's a couple of ways. There's a website that'll actually help you come up with names. There are people, that's why I asked Ms. Brown, was she charging for finding your niches, because there's people on Fiverr that will actually help you, that are very good at finding names. That's what they do on Fiverr. You tell them you're trying to do an e-commerce store based on travel, and they come up with the names. You tell them you want to do a podcast, they come up with the names. That's their gift. That's their talent. That's what they do. So you can use Fiverr. I would say, of course, stick to something that, okay, now I'm just going to be honest, Yolanda. So now you said this. Now, if you are talking about going international and you want to have a store, please do not say the Hustle Academy or the Hustle Hair Business or the Hustle Stationery. Please leave the word hustle out. All right. If you are going international, you have to be very culturally sensitive. The word hustle, like if I was to tell them over here in Dubai, yeah, you know, I was thinking about getting my hustle on, they're going to think I'm talking about robbing, stealing somebody. That's exactly what they think, right? That I'm now going to become a thief. That's what they take that word as, okay? All right. No, Miss Brown, if I can come to, she said that she going to do something for free. Whew, Lord, she's trying to give me anxiety on here. No, we could charge a small fee. I don't care if it's $5. I cannot believe you said that. You know better in that. Oh, okay, she didn't mean that, y'all. She means that it's just a small fee, not free. That's what she meant, okay? So you don't like the word hustle. I know. So you have to be very careful with your store name if you're talking about doing international stuff. It has to be culturally sensitive. Don't use the word hustle. I can tell you that right off the bat. Yes, it is, Nicole. So you want to do something like, if you're doing hair, there everybody's doing, what's the popular one right now? I can't think of it. If you honestly, what I would do is I would go through Instagram, and you know how you can do hashtag whatever you're trying to do. Look and see what some of the name of the stores are that are coming up. There are some that are going to do very well. Look at the name of their stores, but try to base it around what you're doing. But honestly, if you struggle with it, like I said, Fiverr actually has a lot of people, that's their gift. And they've done very well with a lot of my clients, honestly, with their stores, with their slogans, coming up with podcast names. So if you went to Fiverr and say, I think in the search you could put like store name or help with a business name, slogan name, it'll come up. And I would just hire somebody. If you are a process person, I need you not to be processing 5 weeks on the name. Process people do that. So that's why I'm so glad Yolanda brought this up, is because if you feel like you're very processing everything, you dot your I's and T's, hire someone on Fiverr to come up with your name. Okay? Please hire somebody to come up with your name. Try to be creative as possible, but make sure it makes sense. Make sure that also when you are putting it in Google, I like popular names. So of course, not popular names, but popular keywords. Like if it's hair, put hair in your business. Does it make sense? If it's stationery, put stationery. If you're doing planners, put planners. Make sense? If it's fitness, yoga fitness club, something that if it comes up in Google, the keyword needs to be somewhere inside your title. You could change it, and that's nothing. You could change your store name. Remember, this is a drop shipping. This is not like your consulting business. You can change the name of your store. Okay? See? Process people. That's exactly why I have that week, because I know my process. I'm an executor. So I know my process people. And I know some, as soon as I saw that my list of when my VA had the names of people, I was like, look at all these process people. I know they be trying to process. I know some of y'all I'm at the inbox because y'all gonna be thinking too long. Do y'all have any questions? That's your assignment. Please work on your niche, y'all. Listen, if you don't do anything else, that is like the heart of drop shipping. Okay. See, yeah, that's why I just go ahead and outsource it. Go ahead and just outsource that. Anything that you struggle with within your business, outsource it. Does anybody have any questions? Y'all have to have some questions. Y'all have any questions? Anything? Do you have a niche that you don't care about sharing that you want to ask about? I
have a question, Big Sis Wendy.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm getting my kids ready to go to school and they're so loud.
Mm-hmm.
For me, being international, how do I apply for EIN? And will they give it to me?
Are you going to do it oh, I can't really tell you that on here, Patricia. That's kind of like legal stuff.
Oh.
So that's the thing. So I try not to get into the legal stuff, Patricia. I'm going to be honest with you, because every time I answer a legal question, it gets me in trouble. Okay. So this is what I'm going to tell you. You know that SBA that I told you about, the small business? Yes. You can email them and ask them that question. I would feel more comfortable with you asking that. Okay. Okay. And are you going to do it as a no, I wouldn't even do it for a fee, Keon. That legal stuff ain't no joke, for real. Are you going to set it up in Korea or the US? Korea. Yeah, you might not be able to get one for EIN. So probably what you're going to have to do is, I don't even cuz see my drop shipping, I do it straight from the States. Even if I'm shipping from here? Oh, you're going to be retail. What are you doing? See, that's what I'm saying. It depends on are you doing retail? Yes. Retail and t-shirts. So the t-shirts are going to be at your house and you're going to ship them out? No, the t-shirts will be like on like a Shopify or something. And then I'll be doing my Korean stuff, shipping out from me as the shipper to the customer. Okay, so that's two different things. So drop shipping, well, I hate to answer this. You possibly, I'll just say this, you possibly will probably not have to have an EIN for doing that way for the drop shipping piece from Korea, okay? For the wholesale piece, you got to go by Korea's laws. Make sense? Okay? Because you're going to be using your postal service. And if you decide to write some of this off, you're gonna have to file. Well, y'all don't file taxes. Y'all don't file taxes, right? Like we don't here, right? Do you file taxes?
We can.
Okay, so if you can in Korea, then that's even more. You're definitely going to have to set up your small business in Korea, and I don't think they use an EIN in Korea. I'm almost certain they don't. So it's almost like you're going to have to go to almost like a small business, similar administration in Korea, and see how to set up a business in Korea and see what they say. But I'm just going to message you.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
It's a little different. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Sean, why you down? You already set up your Shopify store? I see you talking about the app. You already set the store up? Okay, what if my niche doesn't have a lot of people? Did you say for your race or you said from my race? Oh, your name it. Okay. Oh, that's another thing. Wait, y'all. I'm glad Sean just said that real quick. Say that again, Jocelyn. Make sure I got that right. Sean, she said she was naming her store now. I need you all to go also. If you have a, because some of y'all are executors, if you already have a store name in mind, please go out and go get your domain. Look for the domain first. Okay. Now, Shopify has it where you can buy their domain. I personally get every one of my, this is a little nugget for you all. Buy your domains in the same place. I buy all my domains from GoDaddy. The reason why is because I need to be able to keep up, even though I do auto renewal, but I like to have all my domains in one place. You start buying from Shopify, buying from here, then you have to remember this domain. I take that back. I buy all of my US domains from GoDaddy, and my international ones I buy from another provider. Okay? So even though you have a Shopify store, big e-commerce, whatever it is, you can still buy from GoDaddy and have the domain linked to your Shopify store. Okay? So look and see if the domain is available before you start thinking about the store. Okay? Oh, it doesn't matter. That's okay. That's probably better. Honestly, Jocelyn, that's okay if you don't see a lot. Screenshot what you have and send it to me. Or take a picture and send it to me. The number you came up with. Let me see what you're talking about. And then tell me, are you trying to target just that race? Any other questions? Y'all have nothing? Or do y'all just have y'all niche and y'all just ready to go? What is it? Yeah, I need y'all to research those niche. I really need you to go on Google AdWords though, okay? And try to niche it down. Exactly. That's a good one, Keon. He said, check all of the social medias. Okay, that's another thing I want to make sure. Listen, y'all. If you have a Shopify store or e-commerce store, again, you're going to have, okay. Oh, okay. You're going to need to have a separate Instagram, Facebook. It's all separate. That's why I say that's a whole other business. All right. Unless, well, Nicole, I don't even know if you're doing this, but you're the first person I thought about. Okay. Unless it's matching what you're currently doing. So for instance, for me, if Nicole's doing wellness and she's doing journals, then you can still put it on your current Instagram. Does that make sense? But if Nicole was doing selling hair weave and wellness. No, I'm gonna need her to do a separate IG. Okay. Tish, is that, I don't know if that one's available. I don't know. See if that, I don't know if that domain is available. You might have to do something with that. I don't know if that one is available. That one's you're gonna have to, for what you're trying to do, you have to search the domain. You're definitely gonna have to search that domain first for your name. Some people are sending me private messages, so you can do that. That's what they're doing. You got to search that domain. Ooh, I like that. That's a good store name. I'm gonna have to look at these. I'm gonna have to look back at the chat and see if I can find y'all some suppliers, just in case. You know, you might start off saying y'all want to do drop shipping, and then all of a sudden you want to do retail. So I'm gonna, even in this group, just for y'all, even though it's usually in my membership group, I'm going to share with y'all some hair suppliers and y'all ask. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Y'all know that's a $1 billion industry, hair. Right? Y'all know that. Yes, I'm going to do that. My personal suppliers, I'm going to share with y'all. I'm going to do that. I really am. All right. And then I'll just drop some other stuff. I don't even know what y'all need. I'm just going to drop just suppliers. Okay. All right. But these are actually manufactured, especially for the hair. These are ones that I actually talk to. They're very, very nice. I have a client right now who's using one of them, and y'all, that hair is, she's gonna do good. I'm looking for natural hair. Natural hair. They might do. There's a lot of suppliers here, y'all. In Dubai, believe it or not. Well, of course, I mean, there are a lot of people from China that actually have their businesses here. So there's a lot of suppliers here in Dubai. Wow. Any questions, y'all? I don't want y'all to go if y'all nothing. That's why I'm trying to like hesitate a little bit. Y'all can come off and mute. Y'all can talk. Y'all don't have to do the thing. No. Wait. Wait. I like the travel because think about people who are like me. They have a lot. Oh my gosh, there's so many electronics. At one point it's so overwhelming here. But I like the second one that you chose too, Ms. Lee. I like that one too. So research both of those and just narrow it down and see which one you're going to go with first. It doesn't mean that you cannot go with, so maybe start off with that one and then go with the other one, because that second one is good too, because I know somebody doing that too. Oh, okay. Yeah, they have a lot of electronics and accessories, and over here, especially here, because not even 10 minutes from me is called Dragon Mart. And Dragon Mart is huge. I wonder if I still have that video. I think I do. And y'all, it's so overwhelming though. But it's there's a bunch of wholesale suppliers, even though some of them are not really wholesale, they're still getting it from somebody else. But it's cheap for us. So for instance, like I'm going to have to bring more of my visuals for y'all next time. For instance, this is what I was selling one time. Okay. So see this pencil sharpener, y'all? It's like a camera. Y'all see that? It's a pencil sharpener, right? So I actually used to sell these. And so what I did was over here, can anybody guess how much this pencil sharpener is? Keon said 2. Keon, yeah, he's right. So I got it. It was like right at about $1.50, and I was selling them for about $15. All right, but they have them here. So Keon, what you were talking about, they have like a place called Dragon Mart that has all of that, like electronics. It's just so overwhelming. So yeah, there's a lot of vendors here for electronics and stuff. Keon, if you want to do like the little private thing, you could tell me what you're looking for in electronics. Like, what are you looking for? Was that the dollar store video? No, there's another one. This is called Dragon Mart. See, exactly. So that's exactly why you're all over the place with with your niche. That's it. And it's hard. Listen, y'all, that's why I wanted you all to have the week, because it is hard. I'm not going to lie. It's hard to really narrow down your niche sometimes, because you're going to say, oh, I have, I really want to do supply. That's why I have so many drop ship stores now. But I started off with just one. Makes sense? So it doesn't mean that just because you start off with one that you can't have multiple. All right? But you got to have somebody running them. Okay? But just try to listen. I need y'all to pick. Sean, you said you got 3? Oh, you said $3. Oh, okay. So try to pick one, okay? Okay. All right. So just try to pick one. Yes. I'm sorry. Go, Keon. Yes, that's a good one. Who had a question?
I did.
Okay, go ahead. Me and my cold coffee. Go ahead.
Local vendors, especially since mine is wellness, and local vendors that make homemade granola, homemade protein bars, bath soaps, homemade body oils. If I do a drop shipping extension to them, are they going to be overwhelmed, or do I need to stick with big wholesalers? Does that make sense?
It does make sense. You see so let me tell you what made me nervous when you said this. Because you're starting to get into like, not chemicals, but you know what I mean? Like somebody's skin and body. You got to be very careful selling those products. Okay, that's number one. You will overwhelm them unless you say, for instance, or you may not. It depends on how you do it. So let's say, for instance, on your store, you say you only have 50 products, because it'll say how many you have. And 50, you see what I mean? But this is the thing, Nicole. If, for instance, what if I really love your shea butter, right? And then I say, ooh, you have 50, I'm going to buy 50. And then all of a sudden, if you're not managing your store, then people are going to now be on this wait list. You know what I mean? Waiting for shea butter, which can mess. So you see what I'm saying? You just got to be really careful with it. So whoever your supplier is, they're going to have to, I would sit down and say to them, I need you to at least have 100 bars of soap available. You know what I mean? Available to me. And then, therefore, when you get to 50, then you could kind of, so that it just depends on who the person is, but I would put something like that in place. I think that's good if you can, I don't know if I would drop ship it though. I think I would do retail on that to do it from, because you can do it from, you are going to buy it from them, right? Is that what you're doing?
No, well, what I'm doing is the wellness box that I'll be sending out. The products that are in there, local here, local to Virginia, and then once they go out in the box, if you want them before the next box goes out, then you go to the website and you can purchase that shea butter, or that the lady in New York that just sent me a sample of her body soap that she makes. So if you like that, my next box won't come out till March. If you like it, you go to the store and buy it.
But for the ones that's going inside of the box, you're buying wholesale.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. It just depends. I know what you're doing, so it's great. I think you need to have the conversation of how many everybody should have on hand. Like that should be in the contract. The minimum number that should be on hand is 100. The minimum number that should be on hand is 150. They sign it, saying they can commit to that. That's for anybody working with another partnership. Always have the minimum number on hand. Okay, that's what I would do.
Okay.
Let me see. Let's see. I make skincare products, and that is another thing I want to do, is to be a supplier for a drop shipper. And you can be a host. You can wholesale. Listen, the other thing is, if y'all decide to do hair, I don't know, like skincare products, make sure that you're not just selling individual. What I used to do with hair is I sold, and I'll talk to you about that too. I actually started a hair business to sell the business. It was never my intention to keep that business, because I wanted someone to see it. They said, "Ooh, it's already set up, and I can buy it from her." So these stores that y'all are setting up, it could be that y'all are setting them up to sell them. All right. Always set your store up to sell. Remember, you're going to be online. People are going to look at you and be like, "Oh, wow." Somebody might say, "I really like that store. Let me ask her if she's willing to sell it." it's 9 times out of 10, if you have a really good store, it's going to happen, y'all. It's going to happen. But one of the things I did was, instead of just selling bundles of hair, I also sold wholesale. So I would buy maybe, I don't know, 100 bundles of hair, just like you buy 100 of the lotions. And then so I would actually wholesale, just like I bought it wholesale, but I sold it wholesale. So maybe I bought it for 100, I sold it for 250 or 350. I became a wholesaler of the same product. Does that make sense? You can become a wholesaler for everything that you do if you do retail. All right. So for your skincare products, Ms. Lee, you could do that. You can actually, you can become a supplier for a drop shipper. You can become a wholesaler. You can just do that. A lot of times what people, I've seen it with people come in this class and say, I want to be a drop shipper. Then they turn into just a wholesaler. They become the supplier. They take their products and say, okay, I am the designer of this lotion. And now I actually want to put my product on Shopify as being, or not Shopify, as Alibaba and AliExpress as being a supplier. And people are now going to drop ship my product. You can do that too. There's so many things. That's why I said drop shipping is a never ending journey. It is so many things you can do with drop shipping. Okay. Is it possible to have more than one? Yes, I'm glad you asked that. So I'm glad you asked that. So I must didn't explain that right. Yes. So in other words, you can have more than one item. So if you're doing travel, like I would have converters, I would have passport covers, I would have what's something else, y'all? Portable, what do you call it? Chargers for my cell phone. I might have some travel pillows. But this is the thing. Try to, if you can, when you first start out, I might have passport covers, converters, and travel pillows, 3 items. And then I might have 3 different types of passport pillows, 3 different types of passport covers. You see what I mean? And then I'm going to see which one is selling. I'm going to eliminate what's not selling from my store and then add something else. Like, don't have a whole bunch of products that your store is so overwhelming, because then you're not niching down. Does that make sense? But now if you have passport covers, you have converters, you have pillows, but you have t-shirts and a tote bag, that's okay. Does it make sense? Because you don't want your store to be too jumbled and people like, well, where is this and where is that? Try to stay focused when you first start. So yes, I would have more than one product in my store. Now, when I did the French spinners, that's all I had. That's why I said drop shipping there's no rules. Only rule there is not marketing and you not putting money into ads. That's and not really working it as a business. Like, you have to work it. You could do makeup. I have clients who do makeup. Let me check that for you. I need to check one before I give that in. I'll put it in the group. Yeah. Any other questions? I'm gonna go back through all the chats and I'll look and see what y'all need. Nothing? Y'all good? Y'all just tired? I told you I was gonna be a long class, sorry. That's why I try to give y'all a break in between. But this is the most important, to be honest with you. This niche thing is no joke. If you get this wrong, I don't know. If you get this wrong, it could be a mess. Okay? And what I mean by that, some people just guessing. That's what I mean. I'm gonna do dogs. I'm gonna do dog collars, beds, and pillows and all that. No, narrow it down. I'm gonna do a dog pillow. No, Kia, I don't post the PowerPoint slides inside the group. If you in the replay, you watch the replay, the slides are actually on there on the replay. So you can actually, while you're watching the replay, it'll be up there. Wait, do you suggest we look around? You mean like research Shopify? If that's what you want to do. So now that just because I'm showing you Shopify does not mean that you have to do a Shopify store. You can do, y'all, what is it called? Lord Jesus. Big, this, I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, but there's big e-commerce. There's a whole bunch of, there's Overload. There's something Catrell. I can't think of the name of it. It's a whole lot of popular ones out there, y'all. There's so many drop shipping platforms. If you are actually going to do Shopify, of course, I think you should research Shopify. If you're going to do Overload research, always research whatever platform you're going to do. Okay. I just think personally, y'all, if you never had a store, Shopify is the easiest to set up. That's the only reason why. Because I was trying to find something, a platform to focus on that's easier, that people are going to follow through, and that they're going to have a store versus Amazon. People not doing it, getting frustrated, and all ins and outs. Like, it takes a long time to learn Amazon. Okay, I don't care if people say, you can learn it real quick, but it takes a long time to really make money off of Amazon. Okay, so that's why I don't really like choosing it for people when they're first coming drop shipping. Okay. Keisha, I got you. I'm gonna find you a merchant, a good one. Any other questions? Y'all going to sleep on me? It's 6 a.m. It's 6 a.m. And some of y'all need to be working still. Ain't that not to go to bed? I'm just joking. No, I'm not. It's 10 p.m. Okay. All right. All right. Well, you're welcome. If there's no more questions, going once, going twice. No, Nicole, why are you overwhelmed? Y'all can, if you need to get off, you can. You're welcome. Nicole, why are you overwhelmed? Tell me why you're overwhelmed. No, don't start processing, Nicole. I know you. Do not start. You're not overwhelmed. You, I know you. That's not, no. You're welcome. You are welcome. No, listen. If you're feeling, that's why I have a gap in between also. Okay. Kiana, you good? Because you quiet. You gonna be my quiet one?
I'm good.
Are you gonna be my quiet one? Are you processed?
No.
You're processed, aren't you?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. Because I try to analyze people I'm here just so I know who to help. Like if you're going along, I just want to be able to help y'all. No, don't add if you shouldn't add the products or anything unless try to go through the class. Like don't go too far ahead. Does that make sense? Try to go along with me. All right, as much as you can. Now, some people want to execute, and you can go back and try to fix things. But this is the thing: if you go ahead and start setting up your store, you got to pay that monthly fee. You got me? Like, it doesn't make sense to pay that monthly fee and you still learning. That's up to you all, though. But because then you get to 14 days, but then you go into that 29. I just don't want you to pay that fee if you don't have to. I don't believe in wasting money. I believe in trying to save all your coins until you can. Okay. No, do not set up your store next week. Right now, only thing we're doing is finding our niche. Okay. Don't do that. I want you to find your niche. These are the things you can do for those who are executors and those who are process people at the same time, and those who are overwhelmed, who don't do too much. This is what I need you all to do. I want you to find your niche. I want you could think of a store name. You can see if that name is available on GoDaddy, if that's who you choose to use for your domain. Okay? That's all that I want y'all to do. And search around, you can say, if you want to, if you decide, you know what, I got my domain, I do know what my store, I know what the name wants to be. You can set up an Instagram, but don't try to go too far ahead, because like I said, that $29 a month, it adds up. It doesn't, and so don't pay for it too soon, then you have to, or whatever platform you use, there's going to be a fee with it. That's all. Okay. You're more than welcome. Any questions? Y'all good? Use the Facebook group. You have to tag me. If you put a comment, please remember to tag me. Put @Wendy, because Facebook, for whatever reason, sometimes if you don't tag me, I don't see it. Usually I'm very anal about going in my groups anyway, so usually I'll see it. But and don't forget, I'm 9 hours ahead of y'all. Sometimes I sleep, okay? Sometimes. So therefore, it might take me a minute to respond back. All right? But I will reply back. Y'all know that, for those who know me. Okay. Any questions? Sean, you good? Okay. Everybody good? Keon, you good? Is everybody good? I will look for the questions. I will start adding some vendors and suppliers for y'all, okay? Because I don't know what you want to do. You could do, I don't know. All right. Well, I will talk to you all later, and I will get this uploaded within the next 24 hours. All right. It'll probably be sooner than that, honestly. I'm going to do it actually right now. Yay. Thank you. This is the only night when we're going to have some fun, y'all. We got to make them coins. Our goal is to have stores up and running for Christmas. Okay, y'all? We got to do that. We got to do that. All right. You're more than welcome. You all have a blessed night. All right. I'll talk to y'all soon.